2 years ago, I declared a state of emergency for our children. Might seem like I'm exaggerating, but I'm not. We are losing our children. The way of life on the reservation is different from where other children will grow up.
80 to 90% of the people living on the reservation are unemployed. 90% of them are living below the poverty line, and the household income is around $4,000 a year.
One home had 28 people living in it. Went to another home that was a few doors down, and they had 21 people living in it. And this is where bad things happen. When you have children, and if you have alcohol and drugs there, this is where bad things can happen to our young people, especially our young girls.
The family system has totally broken down. Our Lakota culture, family was the educational unit, the family was the support unit, the family was everything. Mother, father, grandmother, grandfather, aunties, uncles, and in the Lakota language they call it the tioshpaye. They took care of each other, and so there was never a vacuum anywhere, no matter what. But that has fallen apart to the point where a lot of these children on this reservation are from broken homes.
The children have to endure coping with alcoholism and abusing alcohol in the home. A lot of the children learn to adapt, and they come out in a certain way where it shows in them.
There are Fridays when children don't want to go home because they know what is there, what is waiting for them for the weekend. A lot of it is just trying to survive in a real violent atmosphere, a real scary place. So a lot of them don't want to be there.
We got to get them out of alcoholic homes, domestic violence, and nobody wants to talk about sexual abuse. And a lot of our children are experiencing that. That's not the way. That is not the way for any child to grow up. And we always say that's not the Lakota way.
Whatever I've been through with my parents and stuff, so when I get older, I'm not going to teach my kids what my parents did to me when I was this age and younger.
A young man that we had been working with for 2 years, when he came into our program at 14, he committed suicide in August, on a Sunday. I had another young lady who took an overdose, alcohol, left 4 babies, and she was only 24 years old. Then I had a young man whose children are in our program. He decided he was going to end it. He took his own life. And I had another young man on September 1st, shot himself. So within 5 weeks.
The first resource that we need for our children is a safe place for them to be. I know there's we need recreation centers, we need things like that. They need mentoring, they need a positive place to be, but I think the big thing is we need to guarantee our children are in a safe place.
When we have children, when we come across crimes or crime scenes or situations where an unsafe environment for a child, we never have a place to take them.
We got a case on this reservation. There was a lot of drinking going on, so the police went out there and picked up all the adults from that house. And they didn't have no place to put these children. So they left him in care of this 13-year-old. So the next day, their neighbor went over there and this little boy was missing. And they found him wrapped up in a blanket, and there's an old car, so they shoved him under the car. This 13-year-old sodomized, tried to drown, and the last resort, the baby was still, the 3-year-old was still crying, and picked him up and started banging him with the whole body on the bike outside. And that's when the baby quit crying.
We might not be rich in material things, but we're rich in our culture and our love for each other, and that's what we want to bring back.
Wikaja Gluitaya Otipi, WeGo, is a safe home crisis center for babies 0 to 12. When a policeman goes to a home, there's a lot of things, emotion stuff going on, fighting, drinking, drugs, all this is going on. So we need to get the children out of that environment, put them in a safe place.
They've been traumatized already, but being removed from their parents is even more traumatizing. We're hoping to lessen that traumatization by incorporating our Lakota values, our Lakota language, our Lakota way of dealing with children in those types of situations.
When they're in that type of a situation, it's very important for them to feel safe. To feel safe, to have a good place to eat, to be able to lay down, the things that we take for granted to them are things that they are fearful that they can't have.
Wikaja Gluitaya Otipi will be built through here. In English, we call it the gathering of your children, but I picture it as it'd be a crisis center where the police would pick up the children and then they would bring them here.
I think that a lot of the families who are dealing with the struggles need that extra help. I don't think there's an actual template to say this is what you're supposed to do or this is what we need to do. Sometimes even helping them and guiding them in that direction is all they need.
We got to realize how special children are. This is a legacy that goes on beyond our lifetime, and it continues on, and this is what we want to emphasize is by taking care of them now, they will in turn, when they grow up, they will nurture and they will take care, and hopefully, like a lot of the stuff that goes on that we see, I'm not saying we're going to eliminate it, but we can reduce it, even if it's by 1-2%. That small amount is enough.